N400, Part 12. Yes/no questions and vocabulary definitions. Easy to learn and remember. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? No. Have you ever? In your lifetime. Claim. To state something is true without proof. Claimed to be a U.S. citizen. To state you are a U.S. citizen while you are not. Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? No. Register. To sign up. Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? No. Vote. To formally choose a candidate. Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? No. A hereditary title. A royal title such as prince or princess. An order of nobility. A position given by a king or queen. If you answered yes, the officer could ask, "Are you willing to give up any inherited titles or orders of nobility that you have in a foreign country at your naturalization ceremony?" Yes. Give up. To abandon something. Inherited title. The title you receive when you are born in a royal family, such as prince or princess. Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution? No. Declared. To be diagnosed. Legally incompetent. You cannot make decisions for yourself due to mental problems under the law. Confine. To keep someone or something within limits. Mental institution. A hospital for people with mental problems. Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? No. Owe. To have a debt. Owe overdue taxes. Didn't pay taxes on time. Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? No. File a tax return. To send tax paperwork to the government. Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? No. Non-U.S. resident. A person who does not live in the U.S. Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in any other location in the world? No. A member of. A person who belongs to a group. Associate with. To make a connection between people or things. If you answered yes, provide the information below. If you need extra space, attach the names of the other groups on additional sheets of paper and provide any evidence to support your answers. Have you ever been a member of or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with the Communist Party? Any other totalitarian party? A terrorist organization? No. Communist Party. A political party that supports communism, like Cuba or China. Their governments own and control everything. Totalitarian Party. A political party in which all people have no power. A terrorist organization. An organization that uses violent action for political or religious purposes. Have you ever advocated, either directly or indirectly, the overthrow of any government by force or violence? No. Advocate. To publicly support. Overthrow of any government. To remove the government by using force. Have you ever persecuted, either directly or indirectly, any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? No. Persecuted. To hurt someone because of religion or political beliefs. National origin. Where a person is from. Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for or associate in any way with the Nazi government of Germany? No. Nazi. The political party of Germany under Hitler. Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for or associate in any way with any government in any area occupied by, allied with, or established with the help of the Nazi government of Germany? No. Occupied. To move into and take control or possession of a place. Allied. Connected by a political or military agreement. Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for or associate in any way with any German, Nazi, or SS military unit, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, citizen unit, police unit, government agency or office, extermination camp, concentration camp, prisoner of war camp, prison, labor camp, or transit camp? No. SS military unit. An organization under Nazi government. Extermination camp. A place to keep people before killing them. Concentration camp. A place to keep prisoners during the war. Prisoner of war camp. A place to keep enemy soldiers captured during the war. Transit camp. A place to keep people such as refugees temporarily. Were you ever involved in any way with genocide, torture, killing or trying to kill someone? No. Genocide. Killing a group of people because of their religion or race. Torture. To cause great pain to someone. Kill. To cause someone to die. Were you ever involved in any way with badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose? No. Were you ever involved in any way with forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relations? No. Forcing sexual contact or relations. Touching someone's private parts when they don't want it. Were you ever involved in any way with not letting someone practice his or her religion? No. Religion. The belief in and worship of a god or gods. Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups? Military unit, paramilitary unit, police unit? No. Military unit. A group that works for a government to fight in a war. Paramilitary unit. A group that acts like a military group but is not official. Police. A law enforcement officer. Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups? Self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group. No. Self-defense unit. A group that protects a place using weapons. Vigilante unit. A group that acts like the police but are not the police. Rebel group. A group that fights a government. Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups? Guerrilla group, militia, insurgent organization. No. Guerrilla group. A group that uses weapons to attack the military, police, or government. Militia. An army of people not part of the official military. Insurgent organization. A group that uses weapons to fight against their own government. Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in any of the following? Prison or jail? Prison camp? No. Prison. A place where people are kept as a punishment for a crime. Prison camp. A place to keep enemy soldiers during a war. Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in any of the following? Labor camp, detention facility. No. Detention facility. A place where people are forced to stay. Labor camp. A place where people are forced to work. Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in any of the following? Any other place where people were forced to stay. No. Were you ever part of any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? No. Weapon. An object such as a knife, gun, or bomb. Threaten. To make someone afraid. If you answered yes to that 17th question, the officer would ask you, when you were part of this group or when you helped this group, did you ever use a weapon against another person? Never. When you were part of this group or when you helped this group, did you ever tell another person that you would use a weapon against that person? Never. Did you ever sell, give or provide weapons to any person or help another person sell, give, or provide weapons to any person? No. If you answered yes to that 18th question, the officer might ask you, did you know that this person was going to use weapons against another person? Yes or no? Did you know that this person was going to sell or give the weapons to someone who is going to use them against another person? Yes or no? Did you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training? No. Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed force or group? No. Recruit. To ask someone to join a group or an organization. Enlist. To sign up into the armed forces. Conscript. To require or force someone to join the armed forces. Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that helped or supported people in combat? No. Combat. A fight, especially during a war. Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? No. Commit. To do something wrong or illegal. Assisted in committing a crime. To help someone to break the law. Attempted to commit a crime. To try to do something that breaks the law. Crime. An action that breaks the law. Offense. A minor crime or an illegal act. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces, for any reason? No. To be arrested. Handcuffed by the police. To be cited. Given a ticket by police. To be detained. Held in custody by police. Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense? No. Charged. To accuse someone of having done something illegal. Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? No. To be convicted. To be found guilty of a crime under the law. Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or a rehabilitative program? For example, diversion, deferred prosecution, withheld adjudication, deferred adjudication. No. Alternative sentencing. A different way to punish someone instead of going to jail. Rehabilitative program. A program to help someone to restore health, usually drug or alcohol related. Diversion. A different program such as a rehabilitation program to avoid jail time. Withheld adjudication. The judge did not convict you of the crime, like second chance. Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled? No. Sentence. A punishment under the law. Suspended sentence. Delaying of a sentence. Probation. You report to an officer regularly instead of jail time. Paroled. Allowed to leave the prison early due to good behavior. If you answer yes, the officer will ask you, have you completed probation or parole? Yes or no. Depends on your case. Have you ever been in jail or prison? No. Jail or prison. A place where prisoners are kept. If you answer yes, the officer will ask, how long were you in jail or prison? Sample answer. I was in jail for 2 months. If you answered yes to any question in item numbers 23 through 28, then complete this table. Why were you arrested, cited, detained, or charged? Date arrested, cited, detained, or charged. Where were you arrested, cited, detained, or charged? Outcome or disposition of the arrest, citation, detention, or charge. Have you ever been a habitual drunkard? Been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? No. Habitual drunkard. Someone who drinks too much alcohol regularly. Prostitute. Someone who has sex with another person for money. Procure. To find a prostitute for somebody. Have you ever sold or smuggled controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics? No. Smuggle. To take things to or from a country illegally. Controlled substances. Legal drugs that can be bought with a prescription. Narcotics. Illegal drugs such as heroin or cocaine. Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit. No. Obtain. To get something. Immigration benefit. Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? Gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? No. Illegal gambling. To play a game for money that is not allowed under the law. Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? No. Dependent. A person who is relying on another person financially. Pay alimony. To pay money to an ex-spouse after a divorce under the law. Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? No. Misrepresentation. To lie about who you are or something you did. Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? No. False. Not true. Fraudulent. To be dishonest or intended to deceive someone. Mislead. To cause a person to believe something that is not true. Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States? No. Lie. To say things that are not true. Admission into the United States. The right to enter the United States. Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? No. To remove from the United States. To force someone to leave the United States. To exclude from the United States. To prevent from entering the United States. Have you ever been ordered, removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? No. To order. To tell someone to do something in authority. To deport. To force a person to leave a country. Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings? No. Rescission. To take back a decision. Deportation proceedings. The legal process for removing or deporting a person. Are removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings, including administratively closed proceedings, currently pending against you? No. Removal. The process of removing something or someone. Exclusion. The act of preventing someone or something from entering a place. Pending. Waiting to happen. Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Serve. To work. U.S. Armed Forces. The Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard. Are you currently a member of the U.S. Armed Forces? No. If you answered yes, officer could ask, are you scheduled to deploy overseas, including to a vessel, within the next 3 months? Answer: yes or no. Deploy. To move soldiers to a new place. If you answered yes, officer could ask, are you currently stationed overseas? Yes or no. Have you ever been court-martialed, administratively separated, or disciplined, or have you received an other than honorable discharge while in the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Court-martialed. To go to a military court. Disciplined. To be punished for doing something wrong. Have you ever been discharged from training or service in the U.S. Armed Forces because you were an alien? No. Discharge. A soldier leaves the military. Alien. A person who lives in a country but is not a citizen. Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Drafted. To order somebody by law to join the armed forces. Avoid being drafted. To prevent being selected as a soldier. Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Exemption. Official permission not to do something. Have you ever deserted from the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Deserted. To leave the armed forces without permission. Are you a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays? Answer. Yes or no. If you answered yes, officer might ask, when did you register for the Selective Service? Provide the information below. Selective Service. Services in the armed forces under law. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Yes, I do. Constitution. It's the supreme law of the land. Form of government of the United States. Democratic Republic. Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. Oath. A formal promise to do something. Allegiance. To be loyal to something. Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes, I am. Oath of allegiance to the United States. A promise to be loyal to the United States. If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Yes. Bear arms. To own or use a gun. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? Yes. Non-combatant services. Services that do not involve combat or hiding. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction? Yes. Work of national importance. Tasks that are important to a nation. Civilian. A person who is not in the military. Civilian direction. A direction from a person who is not in the military. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more.